In this today video, we are exploring SAP UI5, the cutting-edge framework powering modern enterprise applications. First, we will define SAP UI5 and its role in simplifying user interface development for SAP solutions. Next, we will look at the real-world examples of where SAP UI5 is used, helping business create seamless and efficient user experience. We will then compare SAP UI5 with HTML5 applications to highlight the unique advantages of SAP UI5 offers for enterprise-grade application. Finally, we will wrap up with a sneak peek into UI5 application and why they are a game changer in the world of SAP development. Let's get started. Firstly, SAP UI5 or 3D. Before we go diving in this world, we want to know about the SAP. What is SAP? Before presenting like an PPT, let's dive into an image practically. Okay. Here there is a user who wants a suitcase from a mart. Let us assume that a user wants a suitcase from a mart. For example, if the mart does not contain the suitcase, doesn't contain, doesn't have suitcase. Okay. Then this mart will connect with the distribution team. And after that, asking that if the suitcase is available or not, and I need the report. The distribution team is going and check the suitcase sales with the sales team. And the sales team is going to check with the marketing and planning team. And the planning team is going to ask the details about the production team. It is like a cyclic process. In the time for the completion of the cyclic process, a user cannot be wait for that much time to bought a suitcase from the mart. He will left from the mart. Then the mart will lose a customer reputation of the company, and it will be make as a negative impact on the DMART sales from the next time. For lacking this all the time, the DMART wants to be the DMART or distribution or sales or market or production. This all must to be have a unique time to say that the user if it available or not. Then there is a need of a tool called centralized tool that is called ERP. ERP tool is must a need for all the modules for mart, distribution, sales, marketing, planning, and production. It must be a centralized tool for all that. If this tool is available in all the places for DMart, for distribution, for sales, for marketing, and for production, then they can say if the required product for the user is available or not. This ERP tool is known as SAP. System, application, and products in data processing. It will all about the data which will have the number of the quantity and quality of the products and the pricing of the products and number of the source of the products. This all will be containing in a system, application, products, and data processing. Then if it available, this can be seen by the mart. That how much quantity is available in the mart, then how much we need to get from the sales team and how much to be produced of the suitcase by applying from the past historical data analysis. This can be useful at a time. Then user will be happy. Then advocacy will be happens. Advocacy means the user will say they are giving more. They do not taking the much time to give the answer for the question, or they have the all the data which is easily accessible and available. So the reputation will be high for the company. So SAP is very useful in the real world time. Coming to UF application, there is an SAP. SAP contains lots of modules. For example, SAP contains SD. SD is SAP SD. SD is for distribution. Distribution team they use SD. Distribution team they use SAP SD. Then for sales, it contains also finance department. From sales, it contains also finance department. Further, they use FICO. SAP FICO is used for sales department and for creating the user interface. That is the display of the screen, which is contains of where we have to perform the action, which is a visible part of the user. User, it is not user, which is a visible part for the business developer. They can see the application is an UFI interface. So user interface is created with the help of a SAP UI5. And SAP UI5 consists of 4 views. It starts from the HTML view, after the JavaScript view, component JavaScript view, after that view.xml view, after that controller.js view. Okay. Here, name of the view is always equal to the name of the controller. Then SAP UI5 follows MVC architecture, which means model, view, and controller. Here, model is about the data, which needs to be get from data. The data is JSON format. JSON format. And we can take the backend data. That is called backend data. We can, in real-time projects, we get the data from the S4HANA. And for training or trial account, we get the data from the Northwind service. Northwind service is nothing but a URL, which consists of a content of the data. And view. View is the visible part where we write the code. Here, the return of the code is a format XML code, which is looks similar like an HTML code. Controller. Controller is an action performer. Action performer, which is called as controller. Here the code will be written in JavaScript. Here, example, there is a button called submit. The button submit is written in the XML code. But when we click on the submit, it performs a certain amount of action for navigation from one view to another view, or fetching the number of details that are required for the submit button, or filling the details. There must be a certain amount of action. That action is going to perform using JavaScript. In JavaScript, we write the whatever the action that is needed for the submit button. It is consists of MVC architecture, model view and controller. The name of the view is always equal to the name of the controller. And coming to UI5 versus HTML5, the major difference between UI5 application and HTML5 application is HTML5 application is a basic web page which contains of text, images, and videos. See here a Flipkart application which contains of images, text, and the HTML5 application can be accessed by any user in the world. Example, Flipkart.com can be is an URL which can be placed by any user in the world. Then he can get the web page where he can access all the requirements and he can search whatever the data part that is available. If he search here something S23, then he can fetch all the data according to the S23. But UFA application is a building for SAP-based enterprise dashboard with data tables, charts, and forms. Here, UFA application cannot be accessed by any user because UFA application is created in a certain amount of subscription mode, where the developer also send the link to any user. He can't directly open the UFA application. He needs the credentials. He needs the login ID and password of the developed application by the developer credentials. With the help of the developer credentials only, he can access the UFA application. Otherwise, a normal user cannot be access the user UFA application without any credentials directly. Okay. Next, HTML file application is look like this, and UFA application is look like this. Here, when we click this button, when we click here the 3000, 300, like the 97, that button, then the recording of the certain relevant data is displayed here. This is called as data binding, which is a special feature that is available in UI5. But this type of data is not available in HTML5. Here, data binding in UI5 application, data binding can be of certain amount of types. Example, one-way binding, two-way binding, contextual binding, one-time binding, like the type amount of binding. The binding is nothing but the giving the links from one action to another action and getting the relevant data. The data is model.json or Northwind data. That is backend data. And this is all the brief introduction about the UF application. Now, we will learn how to develop the UF application. Let's start in practical. Thank you. I will start the UFA subscription from BTP Cockpit to BAS subscription. BAS subscription is nothing but Business Application Studio, where our UFA application is going to develop. This will be start in the next video. Thank you so much.